While he made his living working with numbers, Fran Connell's life in some ways has been dominated by letters. At MB, he was a 3-year letterman in basketball, a 1964 All-Catholic, All-Delco, and Catholic Standard and Times All-Star selection. A real BMOC. In his chosen profession, he's been a CPA, a CFO, and a licensed member of the AICPA and PICPA. OMG! Fran's story began in Havertown. He and his 3 siblings, Carol Ann, David, who was the class of 61 at Bonner, and Michael, class of 71, were St. Denis parishioners and raised by their parents, David and Dorothy. While at Bonner, Fran was a shooting guard on the 1964 basketball team that tied for the Southern Division Championship. They lost in the playoffs to an undefeated Cardinal Doherty squad. His exploits on the court garnered him an athletic scholarship to Drexel University. After graduating Bonner in '64 and moving on to Drexel, he was a 4-year starter on the basketball team. His senior year, he was awarded the Lieutenant John P. Loomis Memorial Award as the Outstanding Men's Basketball Player. He graduated Drexel in 1970 with a BS degree in accounting and finance. However, one very important milestone occurred prior to graduation. In 1969, Fran married Kathy, the LOVE of his life. Fran and Kathy's union would produce perhaps his favorite letters of all time, DAD. The couple had 6 boys: Scott, Steve, Jeffrey, Jason, Patrick, and Brendan. They are proud grandparents to 9 grandchildren, ranging in ages from 1 to 25. Fran's professional career began as a senior staff accountant at Tausch, Ross & Company. He passed the CPA exam in 1972. Then he moved on to Haley Paint Company as Chief Financial Officer for 30 years. He completed his financial career as the CFO for the Papal Foundation from 2009 until his retirement in 2022. Fran has always been committed to the community. He has been a member of the Pastoral Council and an extraordinary minister and lector at St. Bernadette's and St. John Fisher parishes. He helped lead the capital campaign to the complete revitalization of St. John's Church. He also served on the Finance Committee for Catholic Social Services, where he received the Outstanding Service Award. For his time and dedication with the St. John Hospice Homeless Shelter, he received the Homeless Jesus Award. He was the recipient of the Monsignor Bonner St. Augustine Medal in 1998. Circling back to his family, he and Kathy's late son Jeff, who was a 1993 Bonner graduate, followed in his father's footsteps on the hardwood. He was all Catholic and received the coveted Mark Ward Club Award, which recognizes the best boys and girls high school players from the Philadelphia Catholic League, Public League, Interact, and Suburban Leagues. In fact, in his Getting to Know You questionnaire that we present to all inductees, Fran was asked who his favorite Philadelphia sports figure of all time is. His answer? His son, Jeff Connell. I think that sums up Fran pretty well. Please welcome to the Monsignor Bonner Class of 2025 Hall of Fame, Fran Connell.
Wow, what a video. They gave me a seat real close to the stage because of my graduating class year, and I was able to make it up even though there's just 2 steps, you know. Thank you. And I really, I want to thank all and congratulations to the inductees, whom I am just really, truly humbled to be among. And I thank the Hall of Fame committee, Jim McLaughlin and Dan Hilferty, for their tireless work on making this such a great event. You know, Danny has told me several times, you're going to love it, Fran. He is absolutely right on. I'm so grateful, too, for the gift of my best friend and loving wife, Kathy, and our life together for 56 years. Didn't quite get to 58 yet, but we will. And we've been blessed, really, with experiencing God's love through each other and family and good friends. We're so proud of our sons, Scott, who worked very hard to make this honor take place, with lots of help from Pat, Steve, Jason, and Brendan. And Jeff is definitely here with us tonight, directly from the Heavenly Hall of Fame. So they're the five guys you don't want to get behind in the buffet line. That's our sons. So love you guys. And our beautiful daughters-in-law, Nikki, Sarah, Courtney, and very significant other, Erin. Love you all so much. And our 9 amazing grandchildren. We're just blessed so much with. My mom, Dorothy, and Dave, and Dad, my Dave, and wonderful Aunt Cass, were great role models for us. Our house was always full of strangers. As a kid, my mom would invite everybody in, and you never knew who was going to be at the dinner table. And it's because her compassion, I think, rubbed off on us. My always supportive sister, Cubby, brothers, Dave, class of 61, who went in with the 59-60 football team in the Hall of Fame, and Mike, class of 71, without a doubt the world's greatest brother, with his very special wife, Maggie, and they've made, all of them made a great difference in our lives. So Bonner 64 hoop team, great team, just a wonderful experience to be part of that team. It was very balanced. There was no selfishness. It was just a team effort. 5 of us averaged double figures, and that was with no three-point shot. Our breakout game was against Coachville. Their first loss in 60 games. That was a UB Marshall team. He had graduated, and we played them on a rough winter night up there in Coachville. Went double overtime amidst a hostile crowd. Mike Schaefer, my good friend for so many years, forcing an errant pass into my hands with seconds remaining, resulting in a missed layup. While being viciously fouled. Mike, was I fouled that night? Thank you, Mike. Fortunately, there was just enough time left for Frankie Gurin to tap the ball in. My layup was when I was viciously fouled. You know what, though? I'm so glad I didn't have to shoot 2 foul shots, because I don't think we would have won. And I was just so proud to be part of that remarkable team. Now let's roll forward now to February 26, 1990. That was Jeff's birthday, freshman year. The layup at the buzzer that was not missed to beat rival Roman by 1. Happy birthday, Jeff. 3 years later, he won the All-Catholic Slam Dunk Contest with an amazing 360 dunk. Everyone knows as talented as he was a player, he was a much better son, brother, uncle, and friend. Raising our kids at St. Bernie's Parish was incredible. It was just, for 30 plus years, it could not have been better with the people that we knew and our friends. We always remember their support, feeling God's presence when Jeff suddenly passed. The strength received through them helped us to begin the healing process, reminding us of Paul's letter to Romans 8. In Romans 8, nothing can separate us from God's love. Then there was my DH middle school hoop buddies. Don't believe the ad that you see in the book tonight. I didn't get more chips than anybody else at Casey's Bar. I came close though. But that was 3 generations enjoying friendly competition. Of course, we're all hoop addicts, you know, and we just love being with each other, and we always did go to Casey's afterwards. And then there's my wonderful Wednesday golf buddies, keeping me humble. Upon thanking them for their nomination support to the Hall of Fame, their response was, "Oh, I guess they didn't get our email." I was blessed to work for the Haley family for 30 years, great family. The Papal Foundation, 13 years seeing the Universal Catholic Church, helping those in need, in developing countries. My friendships with Deacon Jim Coffey, Ann and James Schnatz have been inspirational to me in my business and in my personal spiritual growth. Our work at St. John's Hospice residents and staff, with St. John's Hospice residents and staff, touched us deeply. For 16 years, seeing God's love in action. Thanks to Barry Martin, who's here tonight with Chris Yeager, and Paul Mulholland, class of 1970, for their dedication to the homeless community in Philadelphia. And our loving parish, family parish of St. John Fisher, lifting one another up daily on our earthly journey. Inspired by our committed shepherds, Father Jim Otto and Deacon Dan Bignier, who are also here tonight, celebrating with us. Finally, 3 minutes? As two of the other inductees yielded time to me tonight, so I'm okay. So finally, the message to Bonner Prendy students from this wise old friar friend. I've learned that life is not about us. Examples of our Bonner selfless spirit that have touched me over the years. These examples like Father Bob Terranova, who's here with us tonight too, class of 63, lifelong friend from St. Denis. Ralph Celadonian, Vince Donahue, Coach Tom Sable, Father Melton, Dee Vaughn, Marge Rocco, Father John Denny, and countless others. And I know that you can name many yourselves that fall into that group of being inspirational and selfless and who've given so much to this organization, to this school. And then there are those that through God's amazing grace turn tragedy into triumph. Servant of God, Father Bill Atkinson, Patrick, Dan, and Monica Hilferty and family. Catholic education is a precious gift where God, the risen Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, and the message of love and hope is proclaimed in word and deed. St. Francis said, preach the gospel always and sometimes use words. Isn't now the perfect time to let others hear the good news of how God is working in our lives? Bonner Prendy proclaims it boldly. Please let us support them in that proclamation. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and may God continue to bless Monsignor Bonner and Prendy. Thank you.